So I got all the components out for the first step. I'm just gonna follow the instruction manual to build this machine. So the first step is attaching the side frames to the front of the machine. Um, One thing I did notice, I'm not sure, maybe this is just for packaging, but there's these two pretty thick rubber pieces that were in each end of the machine. It could be just there for maybe protecting it from during shipment, but I didn't see anything in the book about what to do with these, so we'll go ahead and put those on the side. Um, so the first step here is to take the machine or the front of the machine and attach the side rails to it. So similar to the Laser Master 3, it has the screw in the front of the rail that it used for homing the y-axis, and it'll hit that. This one has 3 holes on it. Typically on the original one, there was another hole if you had the extension kit, but I don't know, I'm not sure what the 3rd hole is. So if you know what it is, go ahead and leave a comment down below, because I'm not sure what the 3rd hole would be for. So this one is asking you to use the 4mm Allen key and attach the rails with to attach the rails. Is there screws in there already? Let me see. Doesn't look like there's screws, but it just kind of slides in. Oh, I see the screws. So they're already in there. You could see right there, and then there's a hole on this side that'll screw into the side rail. So we'll go ahead and line that up right there. So hopefully you could see it on the video. So it attaches to this part right from through the frame itself. So we'll go ahead and attach this together. Alright, so step 1's done. So just attaching those together. Oh, okay, so in here, these pieces here, they're called buffer objects. So I'm guessing it's telling you to remove them, so they're just extra piece, I think, to protect it during shipment. Alright, step 2. So in this step here, we're going to flip over the machine. And looking on the back here, it's telling us to use a 3mm Allen and attach some screws. So we have a couple screws here. It's only 6. There's only 6 screws total. And then, so these are obviously for the back, and then using these 2, there's a spot right here on each side. You can see it. There's a little like a hole here to attach these screws. So these are 3mm. So I'll go ahead and put those in too. Alright, so step 2's done. Pretty easy. Everything looks good. So let's jump to step 3. And that's attaching, looks like the y-axis and then also the rear of the machine. So let me grab those. So here's the x-axis, and then the rear of the machine here. So we'll flip this back over and attach. Let's go ahead and attach this one. So they'll just you can see they just slide right on the rail. And then we'll attach the rear of the frame. So the same way you'll use these two screws, the longer ones, and then there's a hole that they'll fit through right here. So those are together, and then the step four, the same as the front, where we're gonna flip it over and we'll attach the screws, the last two screws, to the underside of the machine. Alright, so there you have it. There's all the screws. Now we're going to put the belts on it. So the y-axis, it already has the belt attached to it, so you don't need to do anything with that. You'll need to put the y-axis belts on. So they have some tape on there holding the belts in. So we'll remove the tape. And so you'll have two belts for either side, and they're already attached on the rear around the roller, and that's where you're going to tension your belts to, is on the back side. So we'll go ahead and just feed these to the front. So yeah, step 4 we completed. Now step 5, we'll go ahead and just attach them to the front of the machine. So out of the box, it's not gonna go around that front, the front gear. So what we'll do is we're gonna loosen the bolt on the back. It's a 3mm also. So there's one bolt. I don't know if you can see. There's a screw right here that will loosen up. So you can see the 2 screws on each side, or 1 screw on each side. We'll go ahead and loosen those up, and that'll kind of give us some more play in or more of the belt to use. Just feed the belt over this front gear here. So this one, it's a little kind of a pain to get over the front on this side where the control board is. So what I'm going to do is, there's 2 screws. There's another screw in the side here that kind of limits how far forward it can go. And I'm going to take that out. and I'll put that back in a bit, just to give me some extra room to. Ooh, actually, don't do that. So this screw here, and this side holds the roller in. So if I take that out, then this whole piece will come out, or the roller will come out. So let's not do that. And that also locks down the tensioner. So let me just try to force it on there. All right, actually, I got it. All right, so that was step 5. Step 6 is push the gantry or the x-axis to the front end, and make sure both sides touch the screws, the limit screws at the front, and they are. And then step 6 is let's see, loosen, do not remove the screw, and then tighten the screw back. So this is tightening the belt. Let me see, does it tell you to feed them into the gantry or into the x-axis? Let me see. Okay, that's the next step. So we'll go ahead and tighten the belts down. So when I tighten them down, I don't want them too tight, but I don't want them too loose. So let me see if I can catch this on video here. So this one's properly, or has the proper kind of tension on it. So let me get this in here real quick. So by putting just a light pressure on the belt, you should be able to touch them together. So you don't want it too loose where it's just kind of flops around, and it sags. Like you don't want that, and how it's kind of sounds like a guitar string. So that's good tension there. And you don't want it too tight where it takes a lot of force to press down on the belt. And when you do it, you want both sides to have the same tone. So now, since that one, I tightened the screw at the back of the machine, I'm going to lock it down with the screw on the side. And I skipped already to the next step because I already placed the belt inside of the axis, the y-axis or the x-axis. And then I'll do the same to the other side. So you can hear they have the same pitch. And then I'll lock this side down as well with the screw on the side. So step 7 is just tightening the belts, and it continues on the next page. And then 8 is feeding them in to this, on the axis itself. So there's a slot in here where the belt will fit in. And now it's just wiring up the harness. Or I guess on the laser head. So it, I think the frame, it does feel lighter than the original one. Maybe I'll try to weigh them and see, to see how much they actually weigh. The comparison of the Laser Master 3 and this one. But I do like the frame a lot better actually. I like the black frame. So then we have, I'll flip it around here. So like the original one, it has some holes in the frame where you can feed the zip ties through and attach the harness to it. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So they give you a bunch of zip ties to use. Actually, that's kind of cool. They give you a little brush. I didn't notice that. So we'll go ahead and zip tie the frame, or the harness of the frame. There's two spots on the side frame, or the side rail. You go ahead and feed the zip tie through. One. Make sure you don't zip tie the belt, or get the zip tie around the belt, because you'll have some issues later on. And then there's another same spot, so it looks like there's another bracket similar to the Laser Master 3, the original one, where you can zip tie the harness to. So we'll plug. So this is your X-axis and then your laser. One other thing that I noticed right here is on the original Laser Master 3, there's some additional harnesses or connectors. I think one was C and Z. So I think the C, I think it stands for camera or something, and then the Z is for the motorized Z axis that they're kind of, I think they should be coming out with at some point. So this one, you don't have that. You're not going to have that option. It looks like you just have your X-axis and your laser. So that's, you're just going to have this cable here. So you'll be missing those features, I guess, when they do come out. And then we're gonna zip tie it, and there's a piece of heat shrink here, and I like to zip tie around that portion of it, and not the actual wires where I'm gonna cut. Have a possibility that I cut the wires. So I'm gonna zip tie around the heat shrink portion. So that's good. Now I'm going to just zip tie the rest together here. So there's some more holes on the back of the X-axis. There's 3 holes. So we'll go ahead and feed in our zip ties to those. So the same thing, when I put this zip tie on, I'll have it go around the connector and not on the wires, just because I don't want to cut these wires. All right, so that should be good there. And now we could just trim these zip ties. Step 10, cut the zip ties. Step 11 is attach the Wi-Fi antenna. So this still uses the same app. So you can use the same app that the original one uses. And actually, before I forget about it, I want to put the SD card. It's like not there's no right marking on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this inside the machine because I know a lot of people run into that issue where it's not working, and you know the first thing is, did you put the micro SD card in the machine? So I'm gonna go ahead and insert that in here. Let's see if I can find it. So there's a spot right here in the board to fit it in. It just snaps right in there. All right. And see, that's it. So we can go ahead and throw the module on there and we should be good to go. So you have your thumb screw here, and it goes in on this side. There's a threaded hole. You just screw that in there, and then that slides on the mount, screws in, and then your laser harness plugs in the top there. Okay. So this is interesting here. There's a warning on this bag saying, please do not assemble air nozzle when air pump is not connected. Not sure why that would be. I actually, on my original one, I removed this because I noticed I got better cuts without having this on there. A lot cleaner cuts for some reason. And on the forums, I've noticed folks saying the same thing, where they removed this and they were getting better cuts. So I don't know if it's something with how the airflow through it is restricted or too turbulent or whatever. But I removed it and I ended up getting better results without it. So, and I still use the air assist, just not with the nozzle. And then the rest of the book pretty much goes through how to tighten the Y or the X-axis belt, where you take this cover off and use the screw and the included wrench to move the eccentric nut to tighten both. If this axis rocks at all, you use the wrench on either side and move those nuts so that it would tighten onto the rail. But I don't feel any rocking on this. I made a video on how to adjust that. I don't know if I posted it or not yet. I have to look and see. But I made a video on how to adjust those and prevent it from rocking and it'll get better results because you won't have any slop in there. And then yeah, it tells you how to tighten the belts as well. And also this one, this portion or the mount piece, that can also rock. So you could take this cover off and adjust the nuts on there as well to prevent it from rocking. So you kind of tighten everything up and make sure there's no slop or anything in it. And yeah, like they should have this page where it's an important note before starting the machine. Insert the memory card into the machine. This one comes after some of the button operations. It might be better to put it somewhere else because you might get to the last step of, the last step 11, and you think you're done, but you didn't go further into the manual and actually see the part where you need to put that SD card in there. So I would move it forward. And then here's your quick start. It talks about how to start the app and stuff like that. So I have this manual in PDF form. I put it on so I have a Facebook group, Ortur Advanced Users group. It's, I labeled it as advanced users, but anybody could join. I mean, there's a lot of beginners on there asking questions and stuff. So I posted that on that form, and I can leave the link below to the group, and also a link to like this machine if you want to check it out on their website. And I think they're running like a $50 off promo code now, so I'll list that down there too. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's the build of it. It did, I took more time than necessary, I guess, to build it, just because I'm talking. But if you're building it, on your own, I would say you could build this in, 15 minutes, maybe less. It's only 6 screws and then putting the belts on and the zip ties and stuff. But it's pretty straightforward, and I don't think anyone should have any issues with it. The instruction book, I think it had enough detail in it where anyone could really follow it and not have any issues with it. So anyway, there you have it. The unboxing and the build of the Ortur Laser Master 3 LE Lightweight Edition. I'll be having some additional videos where I'm getting into cutting some different material and doing some engravings on it. So yes, make sure you subscribe and keep an eye out for those videos, doing a comparison on the original one against this one. So anyway, but yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below, and try to be pretty responsive on those, and answer them as quick as I can. But I guess for the fastest, if you have a question or anything like that, the fastest way to get an answer, whether it be on the group or there's a lot of other Ortur groups out there. So the official group, and then there's a Laser Master 3 and Laser Master 2 and 3 group that I'm part of, that a lot of helpful people. So you can always get some, if you have a question, you can always get someone to help you out. So that's pretty awesome about the community. So, but yeah, I appreciate you all sticking around and watching this video, and just keep a lookout for the other videos. Thanks.